Hello and welcome back to episode 8 of my Freetrade realistic UK dividend investing journey. In this series, I'll be documenting my real-time progress as a UK dividend investor using the Freetrade app with a focus on building a UK-based portfolio from scratch. This portfolio is going to be a smaller portfolio as I've recently been getting so many messages from people who are struggling with a smaller dividend portfolio, so I thought what better way to help them than to create my own UK dividend investing portfolio on Freetrade. I know when you see a portfolio that's over 20, 50 or even £100,000, it can feel totally out of reach, so hopefully more people can relate to this portfolio. I wanted to keep this separate from my main portfolio on Trading 212, but I did still want it to be within an ISA account, so that's why I decided to use Freetrade. If you've been thinking about getting started with investing, this is one of the easiest ways to begin. I use Freetrade, a commission-free investing app that makes buying and selling shares simple and transparent. The platform is clean, user-friendly, and you can invest in UK and US stocks without worrying about hidden fees. And right now, if you sign up using the link in my description and deposit just £50 into your account, you'll get a free share worth anything between £10 and £250. Oh, and I might add that if you're unsure what to invest that £50 into, don't worry about it. You will still receive your free share even if you don't invest that money. It's a great way to start building your portfolio with zero risk on that first step. Check out the link below and claim your free share today. If you're still on the fence, hopefully these videos will show you just how simple and accessible the app really is and why it's a solid platform to get started with. For this series, I decided to set out a few rules to make it as fair as possible. The first rule is that every stock I invest into has to be listed on the London Stock Exchange. For this challenge, I've decided to only use stocks listed on the LSE to keep things focused, relatable and beginner friendly, especially for UK investors. Since I'm using a UK-based brokerage and building this portfolio from a UK perspective, sticking to LSE stocks makes it easy for beginners to follow along using the same tools, and it will also highlight UK dividend-paying companies that often get overlooked in global investing content. The second rule is I can only deposit money into this account that I've made through this YouTube channel. So if you are watching, please hit the like and subscribe button, as it really does help out the channel and you'll be directly contributing towards this series. By doing this, it means I have a cap limit to what I can invest each month, and it will vary month to month, which will hopefully mean a lot of people can relate. By this, I mean that some people can only invest bits and pieces into the market, and I want to show you all that as long as you stick at it, you can make a huge difference to your future. And finally, the last rule is that there are no more rules. So whether you're just getting started or looking to follow someone on the same path, this is a transparent, no fluff look at how I'm learning to invest for long-term passive income through dividend-paying stocks. If this video reaches over 100 likes, then I'll be sure to continue the series, as it will confirm there's enough interest for this type of content. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll be using my YouTube earnings each month to fund the series. As you can see on screen, last month the channel brought in £185.69, so that's exactly what I'm adding straight into the portfolio. And because I invested all of last month's funds, this now leaves me with £188.35 sitting in the account, ready to be invested. But before we invest that money with you today, let's take a look at how the portfolio performed over the past month. If we take a closer look at how it's performed over the month of February, we can see the portfolio performed pretty well, being up £68.85, which is up over 4%. And with this series, the aim is to outperform the FTSE 100 over the long term. And when we do compare my portfolio to the FTSE 100 over the month of February, we can see that I did underperform it by a couple of percentage points, and I was actually outperforming it right up until the 25th of February, and then our portfolios did swap. But on a positive note, I did massively outperform the S&P 500 again this month, being ahead by over 3%. Having said that though, it is still early days, and as more time passes we will gain a clearer picture of how my portfolio is performing relative to both of these indexes. And if we do take a closer look at the positions within my portfolio, most of them did end up in the green for the month of February, with the standout red stock being Hikma Pharmaceuticals, which was down a massive 14%. On the flip side, Keller Group was up 14%, and we had stocks like SEGRO, Domino's and MP Evans all up 10% each. And if we zoom out and look at when we first started investing back in August, we can see that I have 3 stocks in the red, but one of them lagging quite far behind, which is the same as that one stock that performed poorly last month, which is Hikma Pharmaceuticals. But we can see we do have some really strong performers, with our ETF IUKD being up 10%. We've got MP Evans up 16%, Inchcape up 19%, Drax Group up 24%, and Keller Group out in front by quite a big margin, being up 46%. And remember, the goal of this portfolio is to build a reliable UK-focused dividend portfolio that can grow steadily over time while generating a consistent stream of passive income. To achieve this, I want a strong UK ETF as the foundation, especially since this series is entirely focused on UK investing and I don't hold any UK ETFs in any of my other accounts. I've chosen the iShares UK Dividend ETF. Stock ticker IUKD is the core holding because it targets high-yielding UK dividend stocks across a broad range of companies, offering higher than average yields, wider sector exposure, and strong liquidity. It has also outperformed the FTSE 100 over the past 1, 3, and 5 years, making it a solid fit for an income-focused portfolio. And for that exact reason, I'm going to be adding 5 shares to my portfolio today for an amount of £49.26. At the end of today's video, I'm going to reveal how much income the portfolio is generating on a monthly and yearly basis, so make sure you stay tuned for that. In today's video, I'm keeping it fairly simple and only adding to companies that I already own within my portfolio. I am eyeing up a few different banks that I could potentially add to the portfolio for some diversification into that sector, so if you do have any suggestions for the best UK banks to add to the portfolio, then please drop it in the comments down below. When I did have a brief look into this, HSBC Holdings, stock ticker HSBA, did stand out because of their extremely strong track record of paying and growing a dividend. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this one, or if you have any other suggestions for a better UK bank that I could invest into. And the first stock I am going to invest into in today's video is going to be Hikma Pharmaceuticals, stock ticker HIK, who have a 5.09% dividend yield, have a fantastic 7-year dividend growth streak, and a very strong 5-year dividend growth rate at 11.79%. And as we did see over this past month, they are now down over 20%, which I actually see as a compelling opportunity. So over the past month, Hikma has seen a pretty sharp sell-off, and most of that came after its latest results and guidance update. The company actually reported solid 2025 results with revenue up about 6% and operating profit around 741 million. But the market reacted negatively because management cut its outlook for 2026 and withdrew its medium-term targets. The biggest concern is the injectables division, which is Hikma's most profitable segment. Margins in that business have been declining, falling from about 35% in 2024 to roughly 31% in 2025, and the management expects them to drop further to around 27 to 28% in 2026. A few things that are driving that is a shift towards lower margin contracts and manufacturing work, lower sales of high margin products, and delays to the company's New Bedford, Ohio manufacturing facility, which is now expected to fully ramp much later than originally planned. Because of that weaker outlook, the stock dropped sharply and is now down more than 40% below its 52-week high. When you zoom out and look over the last year, the story becomes clearer. The decline has largely been driven by lower growth expectations and temporary margin pressure, not a collapse in the underlying business. The company is still generating strong free cash flow, growing revenue, and management's even announced a 250 million share buyback program, which signals confidence in the balance sheet. That's why I personally see them as a compelling opportunity. The market is pricing Hikma as if these challenges are permanent, but management has framed 2026 as a transitional year, and when they invest more in R&D and manufacturing capabilities, with growth expected to re-accelerate later. For me, this looks like a temporary reset rather than a broken business, which is why I'm continuing to add to my position while sentiment around the stock is so negative. We can see that analyst consensus also agrees on this, as right now they have 1 sell, 1 hold, 6 buys and 4 strong buys, with a price target now 70% above the current price. And the main thing you've got to remember is that I am investing into this portfolio as a long-term investor, so even if the price is sideways for the next year, I'm in it for the long haul. So I'm going to be adding 3 shares to my position today for a total amount of £37.10. The next stock I'm topping up today is going to be Pets at Home, stock ticker PETS. As you can see, over the last month, they're now down close to 10%, and I feel this offers another compelling opportunity to buy into the stock. They're my biggest yield in the portfolio, with a yield at 6.69%, and do have a 1-year dividend growth streak, but have a 5-year dividend growth rate at 11.63%. Over the past week, shares in Pets at Home have pulled back slightly, and most of that comes down to ongoing concerns around the retail side of the business and the broader UK consumer environment. While the company's most recent trading update showed that profits for the year should come in roughly in line with expectations, retail sales are still a little bit soft, with revenue in that segment down slightly year on year. That weakness mainly reflects a price competition and cautious consumer spending, which has forced the company to cut prices on more than 1,000 products as part of its turnaround strategy. However, the story isn't all negative. The vet services division is still growing strongly, with revenue up around 5%, and that part of the business is higher margin and more recurring through subscription care plans. That's why I'm personally continuing to add to my position. The market is focusing heavily on the short-term retail weakness, but the long-term thesis is really about building an integrated pet care platform combining retail, vets, grooming, and subscriptions. So with sentiment still weak and the stock trading well below where it has been historically, I see this as a temporary slowdown rather than a broken business, which is why I'm happy to keep adding at these prices. Right now, the analyst consensus is that it's around a hold and a buy, with there being 3 sells, 2 holds, 2 buys and 3 strong buys, with a price target around 16% above the current price at 225 pence. I'm going to be adding 17 shares to my position for an amount of £33.49. The next stock I'm going to be adding to in today's video is RS Group, stock ticker RS1. They have a dividend yield at 3.4% and are down 4.66% over the past month. They have a fantastic 9-year dividend growth streak with a huge 5-year growth rate at 18.93%. As we can see, they have a fantastic stock rank score at 90, and I like RS Group because it's a high quality industrial distributor that essentially sits at the centre of the global supply chain for engineers and manufacturers. The company supplies hundreds of thousands of essential components used to design, build and maintain industrial equipment, serving over 1 million customers worldwide, which creates a very diversified and recurring demand. On top of that, it has a strong digital platform with a large portion of sales online and industry-leading margins, which helps it scale effectively and generate strong cash flow over time. So for me, it's a mission-critical business with strong market positioning and long-term demand from industrial automation and manufacturing, which is why I'm happy to keep adding to my position. Right now, the analyst consensus is that it's around a buy, with there being 1 sell, 3 holds, 8 buys and 5 strong buys, with an overall price target 10% above the current price at 731 pence. And in today's video, I'm going to be adding 5 shares for a total amount of £33.32. And that leads us to the final stock I'm going to be adding to this month, which is SEGRO, stock ticker SGRO. They have a dividend yield at just over 4%, and over the past month have actually been up 2.85%. They also have a fantastic dividend growth streak at 9 years and a very respectable 5-year dividend growth rate at 7.02%. SEGRO's overall stock rank score has been taking a bit of a beating lately, with it now being down at 63, so that is something I do need to bear in mind, as for the most part I do want my companies to have a stock rank score above 80, and this is the only REIT within my portfolio. Right now, the analyst consensus is that it's between a hold and a buy, with there being a mixed bag here: 2 strong sells, 1 sell, 8 holds, 4 buys and 4 strong buys, but that overall price target is still above the current price, with it being a price target 837 pence, which is 7.72% above the current price. I'm going to be adding 4 shares to my position for an amount of £30.97. And there we have it. I've added to 4 of my individual stocks within my portfolio, as well as my main ETF. Now let's take a look at how the portfolio is shaping up over on Snowball Analytics. As we can see, in this upcoming month, I'm set to receive 2 dividend payments. I actually didn't receive any dividend payments in February, but if we do look ahead to the next few months, this is where it starts to get really interesting. In May, I'm going to cross that £10 barrier for the first time, having an estimated dividends of £14.52. And then into June, we're actually going to be receiving over £20 for the very first time. And if we do have a look at our annual dividend income, it's now surpassed the £80 mark, with it being £85.53, which works out at over £7 on a monthly basis. And what's exciting is that I only opened this account 6 months ago, and we can already see that I'm on track to make over £80 a year. With the consistent monthly contributions I'm showing you every month, I know this is only going to keep growing. And what I really like about this portfolio is the mix between dividend yield and growth rate. As we can see, it has a current dividend yield at 4.75% with a phenomenal 5-year dividend growth rate at 11.75%. And with that, it's going to wrap up today's video on this portfolio. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to drop it a like and subscribe for more investing content. Thanks for watching. And as always, invest smart, stay patient, and your future self will thank you. For now, this is the Geordie Pig Investor. Over and out.